Hello, this is Linda Vettrus-Nichols, and I have with me the most amazing woman, Demme Matheos. Welcome, Demme.
Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you for that great introduction.
A great lady deserves a great introduction. And I call you a great lady because you've done your inner work. And that's the thing, it's about doing the inner work, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's huge.
yeah. It's the only thing that's been helping me so far. So,
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
So we're going to be talking about following your cravings, and cravings are nasty, right? And if your gut biome is off, your gut bugs are, if you got too many of the wrong kind, they're just going to be screaming to be fed. Ooh, that's horrible, right? I got put on antibiotics for a very lengthy time and got off in the school. They're just screaming for sugar, and it's a toughie. Food cravings are a toughie. The other thing is I've had a lot of food sensitivities till I actually ate right for my blood type. And with food sensitivities, you either super avoid or super crave what you're most sensitive to sometimes, and that one's annoying as well. So what's your food craving story, and how did you end up following your food cravings to actually make things better for yourself?
Well, again, food cravings for me were sugar, especially because I'm diabetic.
Mm.
And I've also found that fat is also a craving that my body actually wants. And so finding the balance and allowing myself to have some type of sugar was allowing myself to have fruit again. And
Mm.
so, yeah, it's been rough to figure that out
Yeah.
and allow it. But then you have to kind of just say, it's either an apple or you're going to have that cheesecake,
Yeah.
or, what's better for you. So, of course, the fiber and the apple wins every single time.
Right, right, right. And not a whole apple either, you found out.
No, yeah, it's down to half an apple, and and that I'm still working on it. Every so often, especially when we have parties and I have people over. We just had a party actually, and one of my friends brought a cake, and it was rough to have that cake in the house. I ended up throwing it in the garbage because nobody else was eating it and nobody else was having the issue except for me. So I said, you know what? Let's go to the garbage. Nobody eats it anyway. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
right? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So what's been kind of your number one food craving, would you say?
I think sugar is number one and fat number two. But I of course I didn't have an issue when I wasn't having it. Like you said a little while ago, it's like when you avoid it totally, it doesn't come up as a craving. And then when you do introduce it back in, like we said, the gut bugs kind of crave it after because they're like, yay, yummy, we get to stay alive. And so those bad, not so beneficial gut bugs crave sugar and they live off of it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And so, what's the story about following your cravings?
So I think you kind of have to start feeling, like, again, the mindfulness comes in and just being in your body and understanding, is it really sugar that you're looking for or is it fruit? Maybe your body really just needs those beneficial um, nutrients from the fruit that you're asking for. So
Right.
again, following my cravings, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about following your cravings and then going having some sugar or something that's very high in
Hmm.
sugar and it's not going to be beneficial for your body.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes we just think, oh, I'm so hungry, and we're not. We're actually dehydrated. That one just blew me away, right?
yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's something I teach my son till this day. When he tells me I'm hungry, and I'm like, well, go get a glass of water, and after the water, if you're still hungry in 20 minutes, then go and ask yourself. And he's usually not hungry after that. So,
Wow, that's a cool story. And you've got a teenager on your hands too.
right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So following my food cravings, what's another story you can think of that um, kind of was a wake-up call for you?
Well, as I was growing up, I always had issues with my cycle, and it was on and off every so often. And I noticed when I started bringing in fresh avocado or healthier fats that weren't processed and raw, they actually helped my cycle come in on time every time on the right
Wow.
day. Yeah, and I felt better, and I wasn't as hungry when I did have the healthier fat. So that is a huge deal for me. So I kind of add some avocado every so often in my salads for my husband and my son, or I'll add a few almonds. They don't notice, a lot of things that I do, but they love it.
Yeah. So you eat more of the avocado as well, then it sounds like.
I kind of pulled it out a little lately, as I noticed I had a test done for food sensitivities, and avocado was one of those things that I needed to stay away from for a little while. So I pulled it out for a little while, and I did notice it did bother. See, again, it's fine to listen to a diet or there's a million diets out there, but again, I think you need to listen to your body. So when I did pull out the avocado, my cycle stopped, which was weird. Yeah, was very weird for
That's
me.
interesting. And with avocado, we're both the blood type B, right? You're,
Right.
yeah, and avocado is one of the I believe are the on the avoid list for us. So that's interesting
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and not to worry about perfection, you're the perfect coach. So, hello. Tell us a little bit about not worrying about perfection, because, like, really, that's all you ever worried about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true. And some people think that, you're gonna go on a nutrition or just a new diet, right?
Yeah.
And that you have to follow it perfectly. And one thing I learned from Dr. G, which is Dr. George Cosmides, is that you should not be perfect. And you know what? Things are not perfect, and sometimes you will mess up. And um, when you stress about being perfect, that's when you won't be perfect, because then you're going to want to go back to where you were. And so I found that, even with adding water to a lot of my clients in the beginning, they think there's a number. There's no number. There is a number, but is there really?
Yeah, we're not arriving somewhere.
Right? Is there really a number?
That's an improvement. Yeah.
If you weren't drinking even one glass of water and now you're drinking a whole glass of water, you just improved yourself.
Right.
And that's like with my husband. I would ask him every day, "Oh, honey, did you drink any water?" "Oh, I had a little with my medicine." "What is that?" I'm like, "You didn't drink any water?" He's like, "No." But now he's drinking like 2.5 glasses of water, and some tea. So I'll take it. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting better each day and
Yeah.
and improving your health each day.
Yeah, and like we've said in another video about the type of tea, the caffeinated dehydrate to the herbal teas, the decaf teas,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
They actually help with hydration. Is that right?
Right. Yes. Yes.
There we go. All right. So what's another one? Not worrying about perfection. What's the kind of the number one thing that worried you the most, that you were just so keyed in on, that of being perfect?
Well,
Like,
when I first started trying to take care of my health and getting back on track and just getting my health back fully, um, I was always either concentrated on diet. Then I was doing really well in the diet and I wouldn't get to the gym. Then, I would focus on the gym and then my diet wouldn't do as well. So I came to the point where it's like, do they both have to be perfect? Can I just try a little better each time and try to get them both on track? And, that comes into play constantly. Even till today, I'm still struggling with that. And, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me she gained like 2 pounds over the holiday, the Memorial Day holiday.
Uh-huh.
And we were just saying, I said to her, oh, I feel like I gained 1.5 pounds too, because it kind of went off track a little. And that's okay, because you're aware of it and now
Yeah.
you're back on track again.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. I mean, if you punish yourself every time you gain a little pound or you go off track, then you're not going to continue trying to get better.
Right.
So getting better is actually just getting better.
And when you know when you know the why of things, right? So it was the holidays, that's expected, right? And then taking those next steps to get back to where you're choosing to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's huge too, because again, before a holiday would come, I'd gain like 1 pound or 2, and then I'd be like, oh, screw this. I'm just going to have the whole summer and I'm going to party, and that's how a lot of people, work it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that start on January 1st to follow their goals of getting healthier. They hit it for the summer, and then the summer is just like, woohoo, let's party.
Yeah, right.
And then by like September, they need to lose weight again before October or November. And then in November, that's it. They're just off. They just gain like 30 pounds.
Yeah, and you're really big on mindfulness. And a part of mindfulness is you're not walking around going, oh, I'll just do it later. Mindfulness is like being in the now, right? And going, instead of like, oh, I'll just do it later, it's like, if I choose to do it later, this is what it's going to look like. If I choose to do it now, this is what it's going to look like. And you mindfully choose an outcome.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I love that.
And that you said your why is constantly going to change, and your goals are by the week they're going to change. I started in January with the word focus, and what did it mean for me? It just meant to focus on what I wanted. And now, as I continue throughout the year, throughout the year of 2019, my goals have kind of shifted again, and it's more about being in the moment, like you just said, and just let's see what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Let's not go back to where we were.
Right.
And that's a big deal, because like you said, I did gain some weight back, and I was constantly upset about it, and I constantly said, oh my God, I can't wait to get to that number. But I was thinking about it. I actually put some clothes on today for this interview, and I was laughing because I said, wow, these things were tight on you a year ago, and now they're like nice and loose and they feel good. Yeah. So, I'm in a better place and I feel good about that. And even though the weight is not exactly where it was, the inches are where they were. And so it's actually even better now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's your why, which is, making sure that your son has a mother while he's growing up. And so the deep why doesn't really change. The words and stuff changed, and they're, to me, more like a filter. So like, how are you filtering your life right now, right? Your values don't change either. You're pretty
right.
I tried to change my value, just the order of them, and that so didn't work. Like, my number one is fun, so I filter it through that. But the word of the year, like in coaching here, like the word of the year, that does change quite a bit, and I love that about doing that deep personal work, is having a word for in the now. It doesn't have to be for the whole year. What is that word you're filtering through? So what is the word you're filtering through right now, Demme?
Right now it's focus and balance, and that constantly keeps coming up, because the focus, although my why is always going to be my son, my why has shifted a little towards, I want to be here for my son, but I just don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I want to be healthy. I want to be vibrant. I want to be able to do everything. I want to be independent. I want to be able to take care of myself when I get older. There's so many things that have shifted. It's not just about being here now.
Yeah, well, I think it's been enriched. It's the same
Yeah,
why that's been
yeah,
enriched,
right,
which is
exactly.
really cool. It's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy almost, because you were desperate, you were on 10 meds and told, you thought you went to the hospital thinking you're having a heart attack, and then you're told you got all these things wrong with you, or here's a bunch of meds. And so it was all about survival, just stay alive for the kid, right? That was the focus at the time. And now that you've arrived at much better health, now it's time to enrich that why. So this is very beautiful. And the why, the best part, it's kind of coming around to you and how you're choosing to live your life. That's
Right,
very
right.
cool as well, right?
Yeah,
We
exactly.
always need a bigger why than outside of ourselves, because when we kind of fail ourselves, so to speak, that why outside of us will keep us going.
Yeah, and I kind of, it's shifting now to also teach my son that, you know, you shouldn't just be alive. You should be alive and be healthy.
You get to, right? Not should.
Yeah, you
You
get
get
that.
to.
Yeah, you get to choose how you want to live the rest of your life. And you have to make those choices, and I'm trying to teach him that now because I just don't want him to have to deal with the same things that run in my family. I just did a DNA test and I'm waiting for it to come back. I can't wait to see what it's going to say. But I saw my sisters and it's very interesting to see how, DNA does play a role, the lifestyle plays more of a role. And
True.
yeah, yeah.
Like a light switch. That's epigenetics right there, right? It's all about flipping that light switch. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that. Okay, so forgiving yourself for slip ups. Whoa, that's been your kind of big struggle, right? It's been a real growth for you to feel like you slipped up, and how to kind of rewire your thinking around what you initially maybe were calling like a slip up, right?
Right. Yes. And yes. And, in fact, what's come up lately, the last maybe 2 weeks, is I was punishing myself kind of in my head about this book as opposed to the last book because
Mhm.
I wanted to be off my medicine fully.
Yeah.
And I kind of came to this realization since yesterday, and it was perfect timing because it was actually my mom's memorial, June 1st, and it was the day after that. So I kind of came to this realization that it's okay that you didn't get off your medication because you've done so many other things. I haven't been sick for over 2.5 years. I haven't needed an antibiotic. I ripped up the death letters that I wrote from my son and my husband and my sister. I had death letters saying that when I die, open these letters. And I read those and threw them away the other day because I said, I'm not going to read them. Yeah. And
Nice.
yeah, yeah. And I just
Really
like,
nice.
you know what? Let go of that because that was yesterday and just move forward from today.
Yeah,
Yep.
part of decluttering too. I love it.
Of course.
Very cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so forgiving yourself for slip ups, and then forgiving the people who hurt you as you were growing up, and even people who hurt you today. And the thing is, though, that's a mindset shift because no one can hurt you. That's all on your end, what you do with that. And yeah, it's mindset shifts, right?
It's true, yeah. And it's funny that you saying that because actually a few days ago, me and you had a chat, and I went through some letting go of some things, and you said something that was really, it just stuck in my head, and it was like you get to choose how you want to live the rest of your life. Do you want to keep that thing, whatever that is, holding on to you and just, and it was, although I knew it, I didn't follow it. And it was just something profound that just hit me. And I said, do I really want June 1st constantly? And I've been trying to work on this for a few years. June 1st is something that's always going to be in imprinted in my DNA, I guess, or in my
Yep.
cells. I felt a lot of pain that day. I
You
had to
did.
go inward, and I get it. And so I said, that's it. I'm not doing this again. I'm going to always remember her. I did a walk for her in memory of Eugenia, and I had some people go out and walk in memory of her. And a few years ago, I made it a celebration day where I got all my family back together after
Yeah.
we weren't talking for years. And so it was amazing, and it was great for me to do. And my family really loved it because we all got to see each other again and just remember my mom and remember, things that happened a long time ago. And that's how I wanted to become a celebration. I wanted to constantly go like that, not only for me, but I wanted to teach my son, this is how I want you to grieve me
Yeah.
one day. I don't
Yeah.
want you to take it as a negative thing, because mommy's really enjoying her life and she's loving every moment. And I'm so super happy with every single moment that I live with you and every memory we make together. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
a lot of mindset shifts, that's for sure. All right. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Demi. Is there anything else you want to leave everybody with?
No, just take every day with a grain of salt, literally, and just go slow and just try to change small little things. Slowly, those little things will actually grow and become big things. And before you know it, yeah, you'll be a healthier person for it.
Yeah. Do what makes you happy, right?
Yeah,
Every day. In every moment, right?
exactly.
Living in the now, which takes us back to mindfulness. I love it.
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Demi.
Thank you, Linda.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.
Bye.